Hi everybody, promised an update about my hearing today with Marjorie Steinberg, formerly support magistrate and recently judge of the family court. I am really grateful. Many people tried to log in. I got over 2,000 reactions on my request for support and prayers. I'm really grateful. It's important. I do believe that prayers work. But today the hearing was changed in the last moment from virtual to physical. I had to rush to another courthouse. It's courthouse number 3. Steinberg keeps changing the courtrooms during the last 4 or 5 hearings. And anyway, it didn't go well. It did not go well. I will provide a more concrete update. But first of all, I want to talk about and point everyone to the post that I put out in which I exposed the political donations done not by Steinberg herself but by her husband, which is very important. So as those who follow me know, Judge Janet McFarland was caught, exposed by me as giving directly political donations which are prohibited to judges. Such donations are not explicitly prohibited for the spouses of the judges, but you, the public, and I am a journalist, my role is to expose, will be the judge whether it's appropriate, whether it's something that we as public should tolerate. I have submitted a request for public inspection of the annual financial declarations that every New York judge, actually every federal judge as well, is supposed to submit. I was fully within my rights according to NYCRR section 7400. Anyone can request that, and I highly encourage everyone to request. These are our paid government officials, public servants. They don't like it when we call them that, but that's what they at least theoretically are supposed to be. And that's how I discovered, I posted it online, that Marjorie Steinberg has a husband who has a different last name. The last name is Silber, first name is Ken or Kenneth, and the middle name is C or Charles. And when you run his name through the New York State Elections Board website, lo and behold, thousands upon thousands of dollars were contributed by Steinberg's husband to political candidates, including judges, district attorney, which is a behavior that I think the public needs to be very aware of. I posted it online, and I actually mentioned it in prior hearings, and I was expecting full retaliation, and it wasn't late to come. So today I experienced that in full force. One other thing that I exposed is that Steinberg, who was a support magistrate until recently, was nominated to become a judge in April. The public was notified about the public hearing in which the public was supposed to be able to submit reservations to the Mayor's Advisory Committee on the Judiciary, which is a separate entity in this whole scheme that was created in order to create plausible deniability and appearance of public accountability, of which there is none. The public was notified 5 business days prior, and apparently it recommended for Steinberg to be appointed as a judge, actually an interim civil court judge, not a family court judge, which is a separate violation, of which I also spoke, and I need to continue exposing that, on April 19. She only was formally appointed by the mayor on May 16. That's when the announcement came out. It's public. But throughout the period before she was actually appointed, she immediately started referring to herself as honorable. She ditched the title support magistrate, and it appears that everybody around her, including herself, already considered her a judge. Now you again here, you'll be the judge and the jury as a public. Is it something appropriate to reduce the mayor to a role of a potted plant, essentially just a nominal function, and somebody who is already in her pocket? I think that's another thing that has to be highlighted, which is what I did. Finally, another aspect that I also actually emphasized in my last complaint is the fact that at least according to her own financial filings, she associates herself with the Jewish faith, Jewish organizations. And apparently she's not hiding the fact that she is Jewish. What is much more troubling is the fact that she dragged me into court during the Festival of Tabernacles, Sukkot, last year. It took multiple complaints to her higher-ups to release me from appearing in front of the court on a holy day. Now, I double-checked multiple times her schedule, and Steinberg has no problem to schedule court during the holiest days for any Jew. For example, during Passover, just this last Passover, she had court. Now, it's a fully unacceptable abomination for any practicing Jew. It's like scheduling court hearings on Shabbat. Now, she has no problem doing that, and I just wanna ask for forgiveness from anyone, all victims of Steinberg, past victims, future victims, Jews and non-Jews, because that's not something that's expected, that's acceptable. And the unfortunate reality is that history teaches us that many Jews served oppressive regimes, self-hating Jews, and history just repeats itself. This is something that has to be exposed. The hypocrisy has to be exposed, and that's what I did in my post. Now, today's hearing was an absolute disaster. She was utterly disrespectful. It wasn't her courtroom. It was the courtroom of the Chief Judge Hamanjian. She shouted at me. She did not let me talk, especially when I tried to make constitutional arguments. She kicked me out of the room 2 or 3 times, which is absolutely illegal. When she was leaving the room, apparently in a sign of state of being infuriated, she was not wearing any robe, which she does constantly throughout all the hearings. She doesn't respect the institution, doesn't respect the role. She was wearing slippers, which is absolutely ridiculous. And this is a whole no semblance of decorum, shouting. When she becomes agitated, she stands up in intimidating fashion. The desk, the judge's podium is not a podium in that room, so she's literally towering over me. And of course, she has the court guards whom she unleashes on me to kick me out of the room. As I exposed in the past, she had another court guard. I don't know where he is right now, but he was displaying an iron cross. And they just a continuation of all the behavior that I exposed and wrote publicly and complained about in the past. She delays her decisions according to CPLR. It's a procedural rule, law and rules statute that governs how the civil courts, including family courts, are supposed to conduct the business. CPLR 2219 guides the judges to provide the decision within 20 days, at most 60 days in certain circumstances. She delayed the decision on her recusal for months. She delayed a decision in my motion to lower my support payments for weeks, completely illegally. When I asked for her recusal today and prior meetings, prior hearings, she was supposed to decide it right away. That's the law. She does not do that as well. My complaints did not help. Obviously, it's an interim appointment. I hope that she will not be appointed for a full-time position, but we know who gets promoted in this completely corrupt system. Unfortunately, she serves the regime, and the goal is to completely ruin me financially, to sap, to eviscerate my ability to resist, to be a father, to expose it all for you, for the public, as a recognized journalist who is not afraid to utilize my First Amendment. And I will not be deterred, and I will not be intimidated. But bottom line today, despite the fact that the room had full audio-video equipment and my recurrent pleas to her to open the room for the public, this was not done. So again, thank you very much for all of you who tried to show support, to show up. I know that people waited online for long minutes. I really appreciate it. I still need your help tomorrow. It's never ending. I just took court just this week. That's how the system is designed. Tomorrow I have McFarland again in the custody case at 11 a.m. But I really appreciate everything that you do, and I apologize on behalf of all observant Jews for Jews like Steinberg. According to the Jewish religion, she can still come back. She can repent. It's called coming back to tshuva, essentially coming back to the answer. So she's not lost. By the way, before saying what I'm saying, I consulted with one of the prominent rabbis in the United States, maybe in the world. So everything that I'm saying is permitted halachically according to Jewish law. The servants of the regime need to be exposed. But again, please don't judge all Jews based on behavior of those like Steinberg. Not all Jews are the same, and I apologize. I'm doing what I can, but I apologize in front of all future and past victims, Jews and non-Jews. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support.